There are countless lives at stake. I will not put those lives in the hands of a cunning woman.
Let me guess, a woman couldn't possibly have the skill or the knowledge to become a physician. Nor do you know of any medical college that admits the fairer sex.
For good reason, I'm sure.
Claire Fraser is the most skillful surgeon I have seen operate. He does thy patients great harm, sir, by not allowing her to assist us.
I think it's allowed them to see that things aren't black and white in life, and although they are pacifists and they're against violence, they also are very much a part of this war now, and Denny has to play a role in this war. Ian has to play a role in this war, and we are part of that, and we're trying. Everything has to be for the greater good, and so I think it's amazing that they have each other, because only those two really understand their journey and what they're going through. And I think when you said they're like metaphorically holding hands, it's funny because actually when me and Izzy were shooting that scene and I put her up on the cart and it rode away, we just instantly grabbed each other's hands. We were just like holding them so tightly until the cart had literally gone back around the building and stopped, and we just didn't let go because it felt, I mean, the location was so incredible and there was so many essays, and you really felt the war coming, and you felt the violence, and it felt close, and it felt like this sort of roller coaster that you can't get off now. And so I think to just be able to hold on to a little bit of your family and know that they're struggling as well, but you've got each other, I think is a really amazing moment for those two. I think he is just so disgusted in the way that Claire is being treated, and he's seen it before, and especially now when Claire is 10 times the doctors and surgeons of anyone else in that room, and they are being so pig-headed, and they won't accept that Claire knows more than them, is more skilled than them, and Denny really feels that injustice for Claire. And I think to him it's crazy because from the moment he met her, he saw how incredible she was, and he just wants to soak up everything he can from her. So, and she's been his mentor, so now the tables have kind of turned and he has to try and pull rank just so that Claire can be in the room, when to him it's like, it's mind-blowing that people can't see how incredible she is. And so I think for him, having to say that, you know, having to prove his qualifications and stuff is sort of just playing that other guy's game and being like, okay, fine, you can disregard everything you want, but if what you want is qualifications, I have those. So what do you want next? Are you going to respect my opinion or not? And then, you know, Claire takes herself off, and that's really difficult for Denny, but he also has to just dive in and do as much good as he can. So yeah, I think it's really hard for him to see his mentor be treated like that, but I think it lights a fire under him, and it's a really great moment for him to sort of stand up to people and stick up for Claire and give her something back, and to give her that respect that he so much has, but no one else gives her. I think without question, Claire has made him 10 times the doctor he was before. I mean, he's an incredibly intelligent man. He's a very gifted surgeon, but I think there's only so much that you can learn from books and learn from practicing on cadavers and things like that. What Claire has done is taken him into a whole nother world and opened up his eyes. You know, when she tells him about ether, he just can't believe it. Like she's telling him things he never would have believed possible. And so when they operate on Henry and he sees it for the first time, he's like a puppy. He's so excited because Claire has shown him there's so much more that we humans can achieve. And I think, you know, it's incredibly lucky that he was able to help her, assist her in that operation, because now it's a huge pressure on Denny's shoulders, you know, to have Jamie Fraser sort of shouting, "Save her." And for Claire to be led on that table, you know, bleeding out, and Denny is her last hope. Everybody else has fled. Everyone has sort of left her for dead. I think that's a huge moment for him, because he has to almost remove himself from the situation slightly, put on his surgeon hat, and just think of Claire's teaching. So I think in his head at that moment, he definitely has Claire's voice, and he's talking to her in his head as he's starting the operation. I think he connects to his religion in that moment as well, and I think that's amazing because he's been on such a journey, with his religion, with his occupation, and with his relationship with Claire. I think it all comes together in that scene, and he can put it all into practice. But that's not to say that it makes it any easier, because even for me as the actor, seeing Katrina led on that table, it was heartbreaking. And I, as much as Denny, wanted to do whatever I could to save her. Rachel has always sort of assisted him, so I think it's second nature for those two to work together. And she's like an incredibly capable woman herself. And even our first scene when we're operating on William, we work together, and they sort of can almost read each other's minds at this point. They know exactly sort of how to work and how to help each other. So I think she's a very grounding presence for Denny. And I was saying on set that day, it just felt so quiet and sacred. It felt like being in a church. And that was created by, the director and the DP and the amazing crew and the set designers. And just working with Katrina and Sam and Izzy, I love them all so much. And I think it was just a really special day. And I think it shows in the episode. And so I think for Denny, these are now his new family. He has Rachel from his actual sister from his old life as a grounding presence, and he has Claire and Jamie as his family for the future. And I think to be in a church just sort of ties it all together really nicely. Well, I think the props department are incredible because everything that you see on screen looks as real as it does in real life. And like when you cut someone open, they have all the organs and there is blood pumping in there. And when you cut open, you actually cut them open. And we have an amazing woman called Dr. Claire on set who teaches us how to look as though we know what we're doing. And she was great because she said, you've done this 1,000 times. You don't have to, because for me, I was thinking, God, for Denny to cut open Claire, or for me to cut open Katrina, I'd want to be like so careful and so sort of tender in a way. But she was saying, no, you've done this 1,000 times, sort of get in there, and you've got to be like tough with it. And I was like, oh God, yeah, okay. So I've loved that element of it as well. And also I've learned from Katrina as well. She's obviously picked up so much during this whole the whole show. And so that's been a really fun element of it. But yeah, I think there's been quite a few sort of gory moments, and there probably will be some more. So Izzy is the most squeamish person in the world. She's literally can't look at it. She's in the background So actually, Rachel might look like she was capable in that scene, but Izzy was useless. The episode, in my opinion, is incredible. I think it's one of my favorite season finales. It's extremely highly charged. It's highly emotional. I think it's very sort of touch and go. I think the audience are definitely going to be on the edge of their seat. I was, even though I knew what was going to happen. So yeah, it will be quite the journey, and I think everyone will be emotionally drained by the end of it, but I cannot wait to see the reaction and to see what the fans make of it.